Call to order this meeting of student community government, student parliament, election of officers of 2022-2023 on November 16, 2022. Is there a motion for?
We're just going to get a motion to move the floor to President.
Mr. Jakes, can you do roll call, please?
Matthew Thureson.
President.
Basil Corrales.
President.
Matthew Jakes. President. Vapio Ababe. James Torres.
President.
Thomas Fura.
Present.
Sharon Brower.
Here.
Frank Costello.
President.
Christian Cavalan. April Dano.
Here.
Hallie Beth Decibens.
Present.
Christopher Rio. Sorry.
Present.
Diana had these names down pat.
Richard Garcia. William Garneras.
Here.
Pierce Mott.
Present.
Janai Rose.
She's absent today. She has to leave.
Oh, it's
She has to leave. She's absent.
Yeah.
that's
Janai.
Gianna Rose.
Yeah.
Oh, Gianna.
Oh, is it Janai? Sorry, my apologies.
I was like, it's because I just gave her.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Bamba.
Bamba has to leave as well.
Janaya.
Janai has to leave.
Dr. Valerie Andrus. Present. Arthur Patry.
Leave as well.
Darcy Dubois.
At this moment, I'd like to yield the floor to President Matthew Thureson.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for attending our special election for president for SCG to replace, me, my position. And I wanted to welcome everybody tonight, especially some of our new faces. It's good to see you all. I was debating whether I wanted to say this now or at my, at the beginning of the Parliament meeting, because I have another announcement then, but it's going to be very sad later on. I'm really proud of all the work that, we've done and the past, I guess it's been like, year now, the past year, and it'll be, really sad to leave you guys, but I hope that I can still be in the area and, be of assistance in any capacity necessary. But yes, so let's go ahead and I do have one proxy ballot to validate. Janaya Vanover, who could not be here because she is she has work tonight, which was unexpected. She got called in, we have a proxy ballot from her. And then Arthur is not a voting member, but he also has a leave for Parliament because he's sick. So wish him good vibes. I also, let's see, so we're gonna now move on to our candidates for president, and we're gonna start with James Torres.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, sorry. I'm nervous. I wanted to preface my speech with a little excerpt from the Declaration of Independence. It reads as, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, to assume among the powers of the earth a separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. To dissent, respect, and the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Dear friends, colleagues, and members of the Honorable and Reputable Student Community Government Parliament, I preface this speech with an excerpt from the nation's Declaration of Independence for a reason. We live in a time in history where our freedoms are taken for granted. Long are the days when men and women alike truly appreciated being free and independent from being told what they can and can't do. This election is such a point in our school's history. SCG is an independent, nonprofit organization. The school does not like that we, the students, govern ourselves. We manage our own organizations. We meet in this room to discuss what and how we can do to serve the fellow students. Tonight, the school gave us an ultimatum, sign an operating agreement that they pushed forward at the last minute, which was yesterday, or tonight's election will not be recognized by them. This tells me one thing: they don't want your voice to matter, and that they don't care enough about what your voice means. We are the voice of the students, first and foremost. That is who we represent. It's a student that is getting bullied. It's a student that brings up concerns about a young man living in their female dorms and using their showers, making them uncomfortable. The organizations that make up SCG body, who get their events moved at the last moment so that some faculty member can have a band come in and play for a crowd of 4 people. That's who we represent. Tonight, my brothers and sisters, I ask you to show them your voice matters. Show them that we can and will govern ourselves. Show them that we are the student voice, by the students and for the students. Thank you for your time.
Alrighty. With that, we'll move on to balloting. Does everyone have what? Oh yes, I apologize. Okay, sorry. Are there any write-in candidates? I have to ask 3 times. So yeah, is there any write-in candidates for president? Come on, guys. Any write-in candidates? All right. So we'll begin balloting. 2 members of the Elections Commission are going to pass out a ballot to each of you. It has a name on it, James, and it also has a write-in, which we do not have any write-ins. So if you decide to abstain from voting, you would simply not check a box.
Ballot number is 1.
Ballot number is 1. It means that we're in the first round of voting right now. If it were to go to a runoff and we had multiple people running, then it would be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
And make sure you guys write on your ballot number 1, as this is the first go around. Okay, sorry. I was walking. I just really want you guys to make sure.
Still over here.
Sorry.
You guys, yeah, your vote is just not
Sorry. That's not good. I'm gonna clarify in my announcements.
I enjoyed your speech.
What? Yeah, so this week, the reason we did the ninth is because this week, we take a recess after this. Yeah. Nine. This is last week, the joint annual process. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh. All right. So James Torres, having received the majority of votes cast, is hereby declared to have been elected to the office of president for the remainder of the 2022 to 2023 term, beginning December 12th, 2022. And after that, I will give it over to James to do remarks by the president-elect.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I got a lot of plans in the making right now. I spoke to Mr. Jake on a couple of things. First and foremost, I want to, we're here, like, we serve the student body, like I said in the speech, and that's what we do, you know. So you gotta get your friends out here, get them involved with everything. But we gotta, like, I want to redo this building, not redo the entire building, but, you know, even a facelift, because there's a lot of stuff, like, there's mildew in this building, like, that hasn't been addressed for years. There's been bathrooms that haven't been taken care of, and we got that fixed for years. I don't know if you guys remember the 2 bathrooms over here that leaked all semesters for last year, the year before. So we got that fixed. I'm planning on just a couple of things. Sorry. Oh, that's it. I'm sorry, guys, but I got a lot of things though. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
All right. After that, we'll move on to a motion to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a motion by Treasurer Wabi, second by Sharon Brower? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passed. Meeting adjourned.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I call to order the meeting of Student Community Government, Student Parliament, meeting of November 16th, 2022. Mr. Jakes, can you please take roll call?
Matthew Thureson,
Present.
Azzy Corrales,
Present.
Jakes, Matthew Ababe,
Present.
James Torres,
Present.
Thomas Fura,
Present.
Sharon Brower,
President.
Frank Costello,
President.
Christian Cameron, April Deneau, Hallie Beth Decibens, Crystal Ferreira.
Present.
Figueroa.
Thank you. I'll get it. To mention. Richard Garcia, William Mahagranes, Pierce Mont, Gianna Rose, Bamba Sabali, Janaya Vanover, Dr. Valerie Endres, Arthur Patry, Darcy Dubois,
this moment, I'm seeking approval for the agenda. Mr. Brower, Mr. Guerrero, is that right? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All abstentions? Motion passes. At this moment, I'm seeking a motion for the approval of the minutes from November 2nd, 2022. And the first, Mr. Fura, Mr. Guerrero. Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passed. This moment, we'll move on to open forum. Anybody has anything to say? Going once?
That's, no, they have to sign up for
Like to sign up
Yeah.
for
it.
it?
Just like a
Can we
speaker.
move on?
So nobody?
Issues of parliament.
Do you have any updates on?
It's in issues of parliament.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got what you say, all right.
Open forum.
No, open forum.
Open forum, I got what you're saying, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
people that already.
Open
who are
forum, you'll
speakers.
reach out to me the Friday before Parliament, and you'll sign up to talk about me. Sorry about
We
that.
got you on that day.
But yeah, we got you.
All right, so, this moment, we'll move on to officer announcements. And now yield the floor to President Matthew Thureson.
Thank you, Speaker Torres. Yeah, well, welcome everyone again. I just wanted to kind of clarify the situation, kind of like try to, in the best interest of kind of like both Rick and SCG. So essentially right now, we are working on, and we'll discuss this more in old business, but we did receive a draft back from the college's council, Peggy Lynch Gadaletta, and there's a few things that, you know, in that obviously, you know, not everything's gonna be perfect right off the bat, so, you know, we'll work on our response to that and then send it back. And again, that's something that we want all of you to be involved in. And I'll go into the details of that a little bit more later on. But there was a little bit of confusion tonight over whether, you know, we were supposed to proceed initially without having signed that agreement, but then we clarified that and we figured that out. So we realized that that was not the intention of the college, but there were some questions on their part, which I think I was able to field properly. Darcy can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I was able to properly communicate that. So they weren't encouraging us not to have an election tonight, but they were simply stating some concerns that we might have to then make up for some stuff later on if, you know, something tonight, we'll have to go back and essentially approve our minutes from this meeting again, if that makes sense. Because we're still working on having that quorum, that full 30 members that, you know, it currently states in our bylaws. So I hope that helps to clarify. There was a misunderstanding, so, but yeah, that is sorted out. And then also we do have a Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow at 6 p.m. And I know I wanted to welcome all of you to.
How many members do we have currently?
Say again. On Parliament?
Yeah.
Right now, we have 20 members, yes, 20 members.
Vacancies.
Yeah, we had a few vacancies, so, yeah, what one person, like they're technically on the list, but, after tonight, they're not, so, like, things like that. But, yes, that's currently where we are, and Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow at 6 p.m. All of you are welcome to attend. I'll be coming from Dr. Andrus' class, but we've covered your food for the night, and yeah, you're all welcome to be there. And it'll be upstairs in the area where the president's dining room is, right around there. So, does anyone have any questions about that? Sounds like fun, right? All right, cool. I'll yield the floor back.
At this moment, I yield the floor to Vice President Matthew Thureson.
Hello guys, congratulations James. I know that you will do great things, so thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks everybody. Again, so much. I did want to say that the class elections are happening the 21st and the 22nd of, yeah, that's next week. So they're going to be happening electronically. You have received already an email from the Dean of the student's office with the link. The link should be open it will be open the 21st and the 22nd at like 6 a.m. So if you want to start as early as then, you can. You only have until 5 p.m. the next day. We did get a write-in candidate for the secretary for senior class, which was missing. So hopefully we can get that position elected and senior class can start, doing events and getting their funding. And then for freshman class, we also have 2 candidates that are running for secretary, so that'll be interesting to see what the outcome is. And we also have that treasurer position filled. And unfortunately, sophomore class is still missing their treasurer, secretary, and vice president. So make sure, you guys, if you are sophomores, you guys get in there. If we don't have anybody elected for those positions, we have to do another writing and another election. And then it's later in the semester, nothing, you're losing time on having events and doing things for your class. So seriously, get on that. If you guys are sophomores, if you know sophomores, definitely encourage them to vote and to get involved. But that's it for my announcements. But you guys know, I always have more announcements later, so I'll do that. Thank you. I yield the floor back.
At this moment, I yield the floor to Secretary Matthew Jakes.
Thank you, and congratulations on your win, and thank you everyone for being here tonight. I just want to address a few things. First off, as far as our holiday parade goes, we are finishing up our contract with Greg's to hold it there, and invitations we are planning to have sent out later this week. I yield the floor.
At this moment, I yield the floor to Treasurer Fatia Obabi.
Hello everyone, I'm Fatia Obabi. I'm the treasurer. Okay, my announcements. We are the finance commission today, and we passed one request today because of Thanksgiving. So that is also. I also want to bring up to the table of discussion. Okay, so I am the dilemma. So we promised Parliament that they're gonna get $20 per meeting you attend. But the problem is we didn't start at the beginning of the semester because we're clouded with a bunch of stuff. So the problem is the finance commission is trying to figure out if we should give you guys $40 per meeting or we should stick with the $20. So can you guys give me a reason to make that happen? The $40 per meeting.
It's between 20 and 30, you said?
Now you guys
40.
are getting paid $20 per meeting. We're gonna change to $40 per meeting as spring semester. So why should we do that?
Let me just clarify, so it's the proposal is to update it from $20 to $40 for the actual stipend per meeting. But it would be, the clarification is that it would be retroactive, so it would be for the whole semester. Yeah.
Does that apply to non-parliament members for the committees as well?
No.
Or negative?
Yeah, just Parliament members.
Are you Parliament member?
Yes.
So I don't recall the exact conversation I had, but I think I was with Matt and Joan.
Yeah.
We were talking about when the last time they raised it, it was like nearly a decade ago, if not more.
Yeah.
So just for inflation alone, I think it should go up, if not more. Like I think 40 is good, but if you can't even settle 40, even 30 would be good because it, like I said, it hasn't been raised in a long time.
So, if we do raise it, it would not affect this semester. It's gonna be next semester. Are you guys agree with that? Like, if it gets passed by finance, hopefully it does. It will be during the next. It will happen during spring semester, not the fall semester. That was my bad because I thought if we did it by the end of the last finance meeting, then we could, have it for the rest of the year. But actually, it's gonna start during the spring if we pass it right now.
This is just to clarify, this is for Parliament members which are not cabinet positions and not executive council.
Yeah, just Parliament members. No cabinet position, no Parliament members, just like Parliament members only. And that's it.
Can I just clarify?
Yeah.
So what you're proposing is that A, it stays the way it was,
Yeah.
and we get paid retro for the fall and the spring. Or
Yeah.
B, it gets bumped up to a raise, and those that didn't participate in the that did participate in the fall will not get retroactive, and it will just be from the spring forward, correct?
Yes.
One or the other.
One or the other.
increased, and the economy is slowly going into a recession. So I think it'll be really helpful for students who are supporting themselves and attending Parliament meetings. It'll also encourage future Parliament members to join and want to sign up. I know, money isn't everything, and we're not looking for people who are solely interested in the money, but it is a good, bonus, an incentive, so I'm all for it.
Mr. Fura?
All I gotta say is money talks. I don't see why not.
So is this something we're gonna have to vote on, or is it something that finance commission will be discussing?
We'll discuss, then we'll vote on it, then you guys vote on it. That's how it goes.
Anybody else
How
have any
does-
questions?
Yeah, how does finance feel about it right now?
Can't comment. I'm joking.
Everyone in finance is in the room, so feel free to chip in.
We all good?
The problem is that I do not vote on finance, so they have to tell you how they feel about it.
How much of an increase will that make, or I guess how much of an impact will that affect like SCG and their funding, being able to pay that?
That is what we're trying to figure out, because that's what we're trying to figure
Right
out.
now, it wouldn't affect it because we have enough in the budget to support 56 Parliament members.
Yeah.
So right now, it would be fine.
It will be fine, but if we get to over like a certain amount of money, a certain amount of people, it will affect our budget. So that's what we're trying to figure out the balance of it. Maybe it might not be $40, it might be 35, 30, but we gotta figure out the logistic numbers.
So after we get all the bylaws and everything done, and we get the rest of our money released, that's gonna be a nice perk too, right? So,
The things, it would, it definitely will.
yeah.
It would definitely help.
So we just gotta work hard, guys, and get everything done soon. So,
Alright, thank you for your opinions. That's my announcement.
thank you, Fatia. This time out with my announcements. Again, thank you everybody for voting for me. It's a pleasure. I will do my best to serve our students. We have a chess tournament that we've been talking about every Parliament meeting that we've had for the last month and a half or 2 months. And it'll be this Sunday, Gauge 200. You're all welcome to come. It's a fundraiser for the Student Veterans of America, for NACCON, which is our national conference, and for the Rhode Island Chess Club. We're trying to revamp the chess club here to make Rhode Island College like the staple for chess throughout New England. So hopefully,
That's really cool.
already we've been reaching out to people from Seneca, Mr. Franklin Block, the bonus, yeah. And who else? There's a couple other folks. We have a grandmaster that's gonna come over here and give a speech on Sunday as well. So if you're interested in like chess, or you're interested in joining, Carlos is here tonight, but I can give you his information after the thing. Oh, is he? Where's Carlos? Oh, Carlos is right there. All right, sorry. You're hiding back there, big guy. So yeah, you can get your information to Carlos, and he's a great guy. He does a lot for the chess club here, so also, what was it? What's that?
Leaves.
Oh, what was that?
Leaves.
Oh, leaves, yeah. So we have, sorry here, Janaya Vanover. She has to leave. She had to work today. It conflicted with being here, and I real life takes precedence. I understand, So Mr. Arthur Patrick as well. He is sick, so he's always here. He's never been late. Always here. So I didn't hear anything about Bamba.
No, nothing from Bob.
That was not good. Other than that, like I said, thank you everybody, and when I step into the reins, we're gonna do some great things. I appreciate you guys, seriously. At this time, I yield the floor to Deputy Speaker Thomas Fura.
Hello everyone, James, good job. And I just want to know that I'm really trying to make the conditions and services community like our committee kind of like a bridge between the students and the college. I really want to make it to where people can bring anything there. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter if you don't like the way a building smells. It doesn't matter if you just don't like the college in general. I just want to make it that way, open committee. And I just want to encourage everyone to join. I'm going to try out the first meeting after Thanksgiving break. That's all I really got to say. Oh, you before James.
Okay. This time, we have a question? Oh, I'm sorry. You guys have a question? All right, sorry, no, sorry. My apologies. This moment, Moving on to reports, for Finance Commission minutes from November 2nd, 2022.
Yeah. Okay, it's me again. So,
Got a long one here, guys.
so the November 2nd meeting, we passed seven requests. We passed an allocation request for pre-law. They wanted to buy some book supplies for the, what's it called, not the MCAT, what's the pre-law,
The bar.
Yeah, the bar exam. We want to buy some books to prepare for the exam. We passed gamers allocation. Gamers got a bunch of new equipment, TV, game controllers, and SCG also got their request, application request approved for web services that we use. We use Google and other bunch of tax stuff that we approved for. And we also passed the Bachelor's of Social Work Organization operating budget there in the new club that came for like an operating budget of $750. That's what they got back. They came in for their operating budget. Then we also passed Anchor's allocation request for Anchor were asking for web services and web services and food services, and we approved that. We also approved Chess Club to have their tournament that they have on Sunday, so they could buy some new chess boards, trophy cups, and a bunch of gift cards so they can give out on Sunday. And we also passed out the Lassos allocation request of $5,000 to do their 50-year anniversary of being without college. They are having a huge ballroom event. When is that happening?
That's December 1st.
Yeah, December 1st. They're having a huge ballroom event because they have been in without college for over 50 years. That's amazing. They are one of the oldest clubs in without college. They started with SCG, so that's amazing. So we passed their request for $5,000 so they can make sure they have a great time. Thank you. And that's the Finance Commission meeting for November 2nd.
Thank you, Mr. Lowry. This time, we're going to move on to old business, update for operating agreement of President Thureson.
Yeah, so I kind of like touched on it earlier. I just want to kind of give you guys like a little bit of a more complete picture. So, our lawyer, Cass De Carvalho, sent over a copy of this kind of like draft operating agreement that we've been working on with the college. For our new faces here, this was kind of like one of the conditions of the working with Rick in order to kind of like have our money unfrozen, essentially. So we did have our money frozen a few semesters ago. So this was kind of like one of the conditions that we're working with the college. So we sent our drafts to them, and they just sent theirs back. And as I mentioned earlier, we are working on kind of like working through. Executive board took a look at it today. I got a copy of it yesterday, and then we are, wanting all of your opinion on it as well. So I am gonna have Joan forward you guys like a copy of the draft. I would just be aware that it's gonna go back and forth a few times, probably even after this one. So, definitely take a look, and feel free to send your comments. Just know that that's not the final document. I'm gonna definitely open up the floor to any questions as well. But yeah, that is essentially where we are right now. And then in addition to that, the second piece we're working on is we really need to have our 30-member quorum by the 30th, which actually works out perfectly because it's 30 by the 30th. And then, sorry, I had to do that. So essentially, what? Yeah, so text your friends, let them know, SCG is really looking for dedicated Parliament members, not just people that, join for that one meeting and then leave, but, we need the dedicated Parliament members that were just like all of you. We're really looking for that, so that way we can kind of get these newer bylaws passed, which are gonna be much less antiquated and restrictive than our current ones, our old ones. So that's kind of like objective number 2 for us, in addition to the operating agreement. What's up?
Also, I want to add a detail on that.
Yeah.
Like, guys, this is not just a club. Like I said, it's a nonprofit organization. Like, after you graduate, you can put this on a resume. You know, it's like we're handling money, like real money. You know what I mean? Like, this is like big time. Like, it's actually like this is an actual corporation. You know what I mean? So don't let anybody fool you that it's not. You know,
Like I'm the CEO, she's the CFO.
Yeah, so this can go on your resume. That's one thing when people graduate from college, they need that degree, but they also need experience, and this is giving you that experience. So, thank you, Mr. President.
And also, I was like to bring what he said in. Like we lost our financial assistant, so I'm basically doing that job right now, and I'm basically doing a full-time financial assistant job on top of my own job, schoolwork, and almost everything else. So it is hard, and it's also like people think it's just like a club, but we are not a club. We are a club, and we're also an organization of our own right. We do taxes every single year. We pay taxes monthly, quarterly. We literally have our own E&I. E&I is basically a business tax ID. We have one. We are legitimately on. Like if you go to the states, Rhode Island State, and Google our names, you will see our names, all 4 of us, on SCG's board of directors. Like our name is on taxes, our name is on like most of everything. Like this is not just like a club.
This is our baby.
It is actually. So this is not just like a club. This is like a legit organization that we are literally trying to save right now. So we need 30 members by November 30th.
Crystal.
Yeah, my question was, how do you guys, as the key board members, individually feel about the operating agreement that the college gave back to you guys?
Okay.
No.
So I think to summarize, we looked at it like briefly today. We had about 45 minutes to look at it, but I would say go for it. Oh, there's a few things, mainly in the areas of kind of like that staffing aspect, which is kind of like the main thing that's part of that agreement, which was kind of one of the negotiation points for the president. So kind of figuring out that language right now. And then in addition to that, there's a few smaller areas which we think need to be weeded out a little bit. Namely, like right now in the bylaws section, it says kind of like we'd work with a representative from the college to do that.
Report.
Yeah, I think there's another section that says, like the president of SCG, for example, would report to, I think the dean of students or like a designee. So I don't think that the college means that I'm going to report to them as in like Darcy's my boss, but I think there's some, Darcy's like, I got another person. Yeah. But I think there's something, in that example specifically, I think they're pointing more at that I might be able to meet with Darcy on a bi-weekly basis and give her an update on what's going on with SCG, much different than I'm reporting to her. So I think some of the language needs to be worked out, but yeah, I don't know if that kind of answers your question.
I want to speak on this.
Yeah, there's more from me as well.
I speak on this. I think they just wanted to give us something last minute, and they really think that we're actually going to look at this and be like, oh yeah, this is perfect. Like there's so many things like how many employees and raise someone's organization. It's very obvious that they thought they could blindside us by sending us and thinking we'd actually be okay with it. So,
Very diverse group here we got.
Anybody else have any
I think
questions?
you just need a lot of clarifications. Like, I like to ask questions, so something I've been told, and I hope you guys take this and continue forward with it, is ask questions, always ask. You're never gonna know what the answer is, but you won't know unless you ask. So I'm asking my questions before I agree to anything. As you guys should always read the fine print, always, before you sign.
And the big print.
And also get a lawyer before you sign anything ever.
But definitely take this serious. I'm taking it serious as it should be taken serious, so I hope that you guys understand that this is a serious thing that we're doing. It's not just a game, it's not just for play. It's something serious. We're adults here, we know what we're doing. You gotta be conscious of the things we're doing, know.
And also with the fact that we have like 4 real life employees that literally get paid by us and literally live off our payment to them. So this is not the the idea of it is like we have to take this very serious because if this goes wrong, it might not affect us, but like there are 4 real people that it is going to affect. So, and with the operating budget, like as I said, I just want answers to my questions. If the answers to my questions are the wrong ones, then I would have an opinion. That's all.
And just a reminder to please raise your thing if you're looking to talk. I don't want to say it shouldn't be an open forum, but we just want to keep it a little more organized. April, go for it.
So other than not getting paid, what happens if we don't reach our 30 people by the 30th?
That's a good question. I think the idea of getting the 30 people for the 30th is so that it's not as much of a this must happen, but it's more of a if we're able to do this, we can then change the bylaws which are currently so restrictive and make it so much easier for us. So it's not like, you know, if we don't do this, SCG is going to come to a halt, but it's more like this would make it so much easier on us, and also it's the last Parliament meeting of the semester, so that would set us up for success for the next semester. So I mean, to answer your question, I don't think anything specific, you know, would happen. I think it would just mean more work that needed to be done the next semester, which we're not going to want to think about it over the break. So I think that's why we're kind of proposing getting it, you know, getting all this work done now.
Also, I thought we had until January now. Longer than that. We talked about that last meeting.
I don't believe
No,
so.
so-
Yeah.
You gonna answer it? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that was based off of Pega's question as, I don't know if we received a definitive deadline yet, but that's what it was. She was saying that if we're gonna do a deadline, for example, in January, like, is it at the beginning of January, like, the spring semester? I never got a confirmation of like, this is actual date. I heard her as she's going to ask and then come back to let us know. I haven't received an update on that yet, so there's no actual deadline yet, but it isn't something that we should like be sleeping on or anything. It's something that needs to be happening. Yeah.
And like speaking from someone, this has been going on since January, so like I would like to like end the year with it done because I've been here since February and I worked throughout the summer to make this make sense because it started with 6 people at the beginning of this year and now we have like 20 people in Parliament and that's a lot of work. We basically like work throughout summer to make this happen. So one of the reasons why we chose November 30th, the last day of Parliament, it was like the last way of like saying we're done with this for the entire year because I don't want to like take this in the room here because it's exhausting, honestly. And also, to answer your question, there is not like a deadline from the college. The college didn't give us a deadline, per se.
They're giving us as much time to
Yeah.
look at this agreement as we need.
But the agreement is going to keep going back and forth between the lawyers. But the bylaws is what we want to change. It's what we need to change. This is what we have the power over that we can control.
With Dr. Anderson's first question.
Yeah, I just wanted to say very, very briefly that I've been listening pretty intently to what you're saying here. And I want to put some of this in context in that when you talk about this being like an incorporation, or a corporation, that you have CEO and CFO and those kinds of things, and when you talk about this being your baby, this is not a corporation. And I mean that in a different way than you probably think. You have the awesome responsibility to answer to the 6,000 students who are here. And so you are more closely aligned with having the responsibility of money in the same way that a Congress would be. And so when you think about things, whether that's a pay raise or granting clubs money, not in the back of your mind, but in the front, has to be, how does this affect other clubs, other organizations, the student body as a whole? What will they think about this? You are, and sometimes I think because there is a lack of interest in serving on SCG, you sort of think that you're on your own as a result of that. But it really is an awesome responsibility that all the people here, you're doing what's best for them. And that really has to be in the forefront. So I'd just like you to sort of change the mindset a little bit and think about every decision that you make is based upon, is this best for the great students?
I totally agree.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I think I'm good. Oh, yeah, I forgot what I was. I think I was going to respond to April, but I think Fatih answered it. Was there any other questions about this whole thing? Oh, what I was going to say was, yes, the operating agreement is what it's going to go back and forth. The bylaws, to answer your question, is the thing that's restricting us from technically being, from allowing us to do arguably the things that we've been doing this whole time. So that's why we're trying to get this done before the end of the year, so that this whole thing of, is SCG legally making all these actions, that can be put to bed, because then, then we would be in compliance with our quorum. Because the quorum is in the bylaws. That's that whole thing. The operating agreement is totally kind of like separate from that. I'll yield back.
At this moment, we'll move on to updates and remarks. Faculty update from Dr. Valerie Anders.
Just a couple of short. First, I'd like to congratulate you, James, on your election. Just a few things. I usually have a whole laundry list, but tonight I don't. I just wanted to tell you about the results of the open house that we had, and that is directly for the incoming freshman class. And as you know, boy, higher ed has just been bleeding students all over the place, and so has Rick. But we're really happy to report that there were over 331 students, which breaks a record for Rick for an open house, and 1,000 people all together with their parents. And there were people lined up to talk about the majors here. We haven't seen that. So I think we're off to a really good start on being able to do that. The college is doing a lot more outreach than they have in the past to talk to guidance counselors and to talk about Rick and sort of frame the image of Rick, and that's something that the new administration has been very intent about doing. The other thing that's, I think, really important is that the administration is working right now on the issue of transfer credit, and that has been a problem for almost every student here if you've come from CCRI and things like that. So there are 400 courses that faculty are going to be given the list, and we're going to do the best that we can to make the transfer better. And Palamette has a problem. I just talked to an advising today who had micro and macro economics at CCRI, and she can't transfer any of them. She needs to take the intro to economics course here. Makes no sense whatsoever. And so we're going to break those log jams, and we're going to try to do it as quickly as possible to be able to do that. And so that's something that you should probably be asking the administration about and pushing, because I think it affects your schedules. Do you need to take that gen ed course and those kinds of things? So we're going to work as quickly as possible to make those changes and to make it easier. Because one of the things that CCRI has told us is that we've lost hundreds and perhaps thousands of students because of our transfer. And other colleges and universities got very wise to that and said, come here, we'll take care of you. And so we've got to get in line with our peer institutions, and so we are working on that. That's it for tonight.
At this moment, we're supposed to have an update with Mr. Arthur Patrick, but he's absent today for leave sickness. This moment, we'll hear from Dean of Students, Dr. Dubois.
Just to go off of what Professor Hendricks was saying, our applications for first-year students are actually up by 45% as well. So I thought that was awesome news. So enrollment management has been doing an awesome job. They've filled a lot of vacancies in admissions and financial aid, and this is in the forefront is to get our enrollment up, to get students happier with the financial aid process and getting the packages out earlier. And probably saw that we had the Apply to Rick for Free Day yesterday. I actually don't know exactly what the numbers ended up being, but the fact that they're going to turn around decisions within 2 weeks and then within a month after that have financial aid packages out is a huge, huge change. And so know that the college hears you, it listens, and is making strides for future students. So, and Matt had let me know in other news that there was a question about could we do like a student activities calendar. I want to tell you, we've been asking for this for years, so I was like so excited it came from the students. It's been something that I think our website doesn't have the capability to do, so we're looking at other ways to do it. We're kind of reorganizing student activities, student life department right now, and I actually put it in the job description that there would be 1 month calendar of events that would go out every single month, via the Dean of Students email. So we are working on that. That is a goal. I hope to get there. What's going to impact that is clubs not having their stuff together early enough to get onto the calendar. So that's one thing I am worried about, is I might be able to get a calendar going that has events that the college is offering. Of course, I really want to hear from the students and what they're doing. So it is going to take a little organization, and maybe we have to start with, every week there's an email, which I know we all hate emails, but it's really important to me that we get out, like right now I'm sending emails every day with different, events. And so believe me, I would love it too if we had one more central place. So no, it's a goal of mine and I'm on it, and I hear you, and thank you for that feedback.
I want to apologize to you. I know it seems like we're very hostile and stuff like that. It's not our intent. This was last time, like, what's her name?
Peggy.
Peggy. Yeah, the lady that came in here last time was like very hostile with us. We've been on the fence since then. And I just want to apologize for in my speech. I wrote that before you notified me that they fixed it. So I sincerely want to apologize.
Well,
It was
thank
not
you
my
for saying that. It was a miscommunication. That is not at all. We just want to make sure that you're in compliance. You don't have to go back and do everything. Yeah.
My understanding was like, if we don't, by the 30th, it'll be nullified.
Listen, you can hold that thing for 6 months if you want to. I don't think you want to do that, but no, we would never rush that. That wasn't the intent. So I apologize if we had that miscommunication as well.
Appreciate it. You all set?
Yes, thank you.
At this point, I yield the floor to President Thureson for appointments and resignations.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you all. So we do have a few appointments today. So first, the Biology Education Commission. We have a non-student parliament appointment, Raymond Mayo. Hold on 1 second.
What? AKA Miami?
Yes, Miami.
We nicknamed him Miami at the Bible Education.
He's been coming to kind of try to get a vibe for it, and now he's been to a few meetings and he really likes it. So
I misheard him so bad I called Miami.
Yes, we nicknamed him Miami.
And then in addition to that, I wanted to appoint Gianna to a few as well, because it's a new parliament member that we have. So give her a round of applause. So first, for the SCG committees, I wanted to appoint her to the Student Organizations Committee and the Public Relations Committee. These were two of her choices. Obviously, if the time ends up not working out for you, it's totally okay, but I want to get you on those. And in addition to that,
Public relations, correct?
yeah, public relations, bookstore advisory and council Rick are closed, but I think student life is open. Where do I see? Yes. By any chance, are you a resident?
I am.
Perfect. Okay.
We'll take her.
Yeah, as a resident, it's fine. I love it. So yeah, so we're gonna appoint her to the committee on student life as well. We don't have to break any rules there. And then and then I think that was the only one. Oh, and we also actually have So this one wants me to consult with the Dean of Students first, but we do have her here. So if she would be willing to have you on the Student Conduct Board, then that's also
Absolutely, I would love it.
great. Not to put you on the spot, I apologize. The Student Conduct Board. So there we go, 4 committee appointments. Do you need me to go over them? Yeah, of course. Does anyone have any other committees they were wanting to be on and they haven't got appointed to them yet? Oh, PAC. Yes. Yes, Personnel Evaluations Committee. I know I asked last time. We have Sharon on there now. We have Holly Beth. And we have, I think that's it.
What committee?
Yeah, so we do need, technically it's supposed to be a Parliament member that's been on Parliament for 1 year, but we don't have any, so.
Me?
Oh,
Yeah, but you're executive.
So you're
council.
executive, yeah,
Frank Costello?
right, perfect, yeah. So would you be willing to serve on that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna appoint Frank to Personal Evaluations Committee, and that is now full, other than we do need a chair. We were gonna appoint Frank as the chair. So we would still need one more student parliament member, that's okay. And then we would need a representative from the student body. So ask your friends if they're interested in having a say on, you know, the employees of SCG and kind of the inner workings of how that works. And then also a union rep, which you guys don't have to worry about. So pretty much we filled that one. So good job, guys. Cool. So Frank Costello, the PC. Anybody else? Awesome. All right, I'll yield back.
At this moment, we'll move on to issues of Parliament. So if you have any,
I'm only starting again.
You guys need to address President.
I have a lot. So
We don't.
I just have some
we don't have
events.
any. Hold on, so a second.
You're good, you're good.
Sorry, I forgot to just say resignations and vacancies, but we don't have any, so that's fine.
Back to what we was doing, all right, those names. So we have Ashley Corrales, go ahead.
So, to begin, first list of events. This Friday, we have Harambe and Chess Club. They're doing their movie night. It's going to be in Clark Science, room 125 at 6 p.m. Make sure you guys are there. They're doing Night of Queens. Yeah, come find out.
It's a chess movie.
And then again, the rig fundraiser for the chess tournament. Yep. He can't hear, so technically he can't.
You can't speak. Oh, you're not part of Parliament.
That's why you should join. You can come and talk at the table anytime.
But not tonight.
Not tonight. Sorry. I'll talk for you though. I got you. No, I'm just kidding. So a reminder, the fundraiser, they do have prizes for the top 3 places, a $100 gift card for the first place, $60 gift card to Amazon for the second place, and a $40 gift card for third place. So make sure you guys go. It's $15 for your entrance at the chess tournament. 11/20th, it's this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. here at the school. So keep that out. And then November 21st is the Transgender Day of Remembrance. So it's November 21st out on the quad. Pride Alliance is hosting that event. It's going to be from 4 to 5. Just it's a silent vigil to honor those who are no longer here with us. So pay your respects if you guys can. Have some time. Here's my letter list. AMA is doing Applebee's fundraiser. It's going to be November 29th. It's going to be open from, like, as soon as they open till close. All it is you give them a flyer saying that, hey, a percentage of their proceeds are going to, your proceeds that are going to go to us. So whatever you guys spend, they take 15% and they donate it to us. It really helps us with our conference. It's coming up. This is going to be the first time that we're able to travel to our conference in over 2 years. Since COVID, yeah. So we're super excited. We're hoping that, this will help, just not be so hard on our expenses in our pockets. So please help us. Just come for your half-off apps. Frank, he got us too. He's happy. Love him. It's going to be at the one in Putnam Pike. The one in Putnam Pike in Smithfield. I have the flyer. We'll share it. I have them printed. Just all you got to do is present it to them and they staple it and that's it. The School of Business is hosting another Monday Mingo, so make sure you guys attend. It's going to be 11/21st at 4 p.m. in Algebra 110. It's going to be in they're going to have Fidelity there, so it's super cool. These Monday Mingos are essentially meant for students to go and meet a professional in their field that they want to study and they're majoring, and it's just an opportunity for them to meet them and ask questions and network. Exactly. And also the Student Leadership Fair is 11/30th. It's 12:30 to 2 p.m. in the Student Union Ballroom. So make sure you guys are there for that. And then Student Organization Officer Success Series is doing a public speaking event in this room, Student Union 3017, December 1st, and that's gonna be 4 to 5:30 p.m. So mark that in your calendar. That's it for that. But I just wanted to bring up two separate things that aren't event related. So today for LASSO, we met with a bunch of the executive board and, some members here of the department of the college, just to talk about like needs of students, especially here of the Hispanic descent and Latinx culture. Honestly, what that brought to me and what they, it was a great evening overall. I loved it. It was great to hear what everybody, Brian's questions and the concerns of the students, and that just made me think of if you guys see something, speak up and talk about it. You might not be facing those issues, but if it's something that you're thinking of, maybe somebody else is facing it, just bringing them up. We had issues with students, who might be, that are disabled, and, instead of having them go up and always raising the question of the problem and everything, we can speak up for them too. If you see something, if something's not working, speak up. Find somebody who's in charge of it and get it fixed. We can do so much. We just have to be active. So I'm not saying be activists, but be activists. Be a part of this culture, because this RIC community is so unique, and we hear it over and over again. We're a unique college. You don't see this culture anywhere else. So embrace it, enjoy it. We're paying to be here, so enjoy your stay and make sure that, if you're having a great time, that everybody else is having a great time. So that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. This moment was
No.
beautiful. Are you trying to clap for yourself?
Yeah.
At this moment, we'll hear from Mr. Sharon Bauer.
Actually, this is regarding as you just brought up on the southwest side of Donovan by the ramp. The button to open the automatic doors does not work, and Christian, who is a friend of mine, hits it, and we're we can't get out of here.
That's this one over here.
No, it's the one, it's,
the one
I know exactly what he's talking about. It's the entrance right next to the student union building.
Yeah, the one right by the ramp.
Yeah, the first one works, and then you go and you try a second one, and that will open.
I do want to add to that. So I did find out today, campus police is supposed to be the ones. I guess it's like a little thing they just switch. It's honestly just a switch that makes it work. So sometimes it could just be that. So I'm not saying.
Why do they take it off then?
That's the thing. You don't know what's going on. They just mentioned that the campus police is supposed to go around to fix it. Sometimes it just might not get done. So if you see a switch, just keep an eye out. Maybe it's just simple as that. But if not, still bring it up though.
Okay.
I'll reach out to them and make sure that they get it. I'm not waiting for him to be done.
Oh.
You all set?
Also, a couple Parliament meetings ago, we did mention possibly bringing a RIC yearbook to the college. I did do some research. I think April recommended it. I found a couple of yearbooks. However, it is too late for the nice ones or any of them because we're so late into the semester, but we want to talk about that for next year, then that is something that we are going to have to make a move on sometime in the spring semester before, ideally, on the website when I talk to them, ideally before before Valentine's Day. What?
No, the battery driver.
I got it.
Yeah, but that's it. Ideally, we want to have a yearbook company. We need that before Valentine's Day.
Before Valentine's Day?
Ideally, we could, but they might tack on a $50 late fee.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Sharon. April.
Speaking of Speak Up and Raise Day, did we hear back from?
I submitted the thing, and they just take their time. We also have the latch over here in the handicap bathroom with the stall. It's broken. I put that in 2 weeks ago. The Harry is not down there. I'm going in tomorrow to check up on it, but I did submit it. Right. Anything else?
No, I was just wondering.
All right. Well, I'm on it. Don't worry about it. Oh.
I just want to quickly respond. If there's ever a handicap door that's not working, if you can call campus police right exactly in the moment, it records your call so that we actually know that somebody called in, and then somebody will actually go there to check it. And so if it is the little toggle, they'll fix it. and if it needs to actually be repaired, it'll go into facilities right away. So just, if that ever occurs, and you can do that, that would be amazing. You can just call campus police.
What about shower rooms? Because the girls' pool seat in the handicap
Yep.
stall is broken.
Where is that?
It's in
The rec center.
the rec center.
The rec center?
I already put it for it, so,
You put it into facilities?
last week.
Okay. Did you put a work order in, or?
Yeah, well, I walked over there, actually, I always walk over there.
Okay. There's a, online, there should be a work order that it'll record it.
Oh, yeah.
Always want things
Yes.
recorded in some way.
I'm old fashioned, I can get.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
I'm getting him on the electronic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
old.
but it helps, like, I do that with the residence halls, I have students put it in, and then I can track when facilities
Right,
actually
yeah.
fixes it, or if they don't fix it, I can see it. So it's just a habit to try to get into, is give it a call, put in a work order.
Just, so should I resubmit it, just have it on?
I
All right, I will do that, all right.
Does she have one?
Yeah, cause I'm old and like, I'm used to, like, look, I'm taking notes. Is that all, Darcy?
Yes.
You good? Dr. Andrews?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on the yearbook thing. I think, Sharon, it'd be a really good idea to survey the students, and you have Qualtrics that the college has purchased to be able to do surveys, and you can get a little bit of help on them with student, with user support services. But I think before you make that kind of investment, that's sort of going back to that whole notion about thinking about the student body. Before you make that kind of an investment in the yearbook, let's find out whether students actually would be interested in the yearbook and purchasing the yearbook and things like that.
The amount of student activities that we do have, for example, SCG being one of them, who doesn't want like a half-page photo or like that? Like, so I'm just kind of like doing what they are saying you should do, assuming.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good idea. That's all a good idea. But let's ask the students and
Do a poll,
find out.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I just want to add, that's something that surveys and feedback is something that I learned over the summer was really crucial. So that's something I really want the public relations committee to definitely start working on, and we can start doing that, because I think it's important, because I have certain needs, you have different needs, but I don't know what your needs are until you tell me them. And so making sure that we do get that feedback and talking to the students, I'm definitely all for it, and I'm willing to be the person out there asking people and harassing them, like, if I have to, like. I think that's crucial for all things, and I keep telling them too. Like, I'm always like, we need the feedback of the students. We need to know what the students want, because I can only do so much for myself, but it's really you guys who we serve for. So thank you.
Library, a lot of people go to the library.
Yeah. See?
Or just use a Qualtrics survey. Like, if it's not that hard, I can possibly just quickly type up a quick survey. How many of you would be interested in the yearbook? And if that something is, if they are interested in, because.
Yeah, and you do need the mailing list of the students, so work through Darcy on getting surveys.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
President Justin?
So I did also want to announce that because, so it's confusing. So I'm still President, James is President-elect. His term will begin December 12th, but then the speaker position will become vacant. So we do actually have to run an election for the speaker position. So we do have to announce that the meeting before, so that's now. And the election for that will be on the 30th, preceding the election, or preceding the Parliament meeting, just like it was today. And then, if anyone that's already in a position were to replace James, then of course there would need to be another election, but that can be dealt with. We can potentially, add a Parliament meeting in early December or do that early next semester. So just wanted to announce that election now so that all of you knew. But, so the declaration period, it's a little bit special because next week is the holiday, so it is going to begin tomorrow for speaker, and it'll run until the Monday before the election, which will be the 28th. Does anyone have any questions about that?
At what time does it end on Monday?
5 p.m. end of business day. All right, I'll yield back.
Anybody else have anything? This moment, oh, you said to go, bro. All right, this moment, I seek a motion for adjournment of April. Mr. Corrales, you ready to go? Oh, okay. Ms. Corrales, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passed. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you for voting for me. I appreciate it.
President Thureson, outgoing President Thureson, I should say, President-elect James Torres, you were just elected unopposed for the open president position, and I'm also joined by Deputy Speaker Thomas Fura. So a couple questions. I'll start off with President-elect Torres. What's it feeling like now being in the big spot?
It was great. I mean, I'm just sad to see him go. It's like a big part of our life. You know, we talk on the phone almost every day.
Yeah.
We go out. Well, no, actually, we don't go out every day, but we're supposed to.
He wants to.
Yeah, and he doesn't. So, all right, but I won't miss him. Definitely gonna miss him. You know, it's a big part of my life. You know, so I'm definitely gonna keep in contact with him when he graduates. So. And
President Thureson, is there any advice you have for the incoming president?
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, I want to respond. Like, I also feel that they've been such an honorable part, integral part. That's the word I was looking for of my life as well. I mean, this semester with SCG, it's been like everything to me. I mean, I used to be an RA. I used to do all these other activities, and nothing quite hit the same. And then I joined SCG, and it was like this immediate community that I had. And I feel bad because I live in Connecticut, so I'm only here a few nights a week. You know, we're trying to make the most of it, and we're going out tonight to celebrate, so that'll be fun. But I think to answer your question, I mean, I'm getting into, you know, we're working on like kind of that like, not to be, you know, that diplomatic route, right? Like I'm more on the extreme side of being a diplomat, and you know, he's kind of this like tough guy, and so I think I'm working on bringing more to the middle, but he's got to keep, you know, his own person, obviously. But yeah, I really, you know, it's been a pleasure working with all of them, and yeah, and I think just, you know, always asking questions, always being curious, and remembering why we're here, which is for the students.
And just to clarify, you will start your term as president on December 12th?
The 12th is the 12th.
The 12th. Yeah, it's a Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. And President-elect, what's on the agenda when you get sworn in?
I have a lot of plans. Like I had brain fog in there, but I want to redo this entire building. Like I want to set up a date for like when we have new students coming in, and we can actually sit down and like get all the organizations together. We can clean the building, or we can get some paint redo, or just get some paint going on. I want to get like an outside contractor to come in here and check for mildew. We've had students and staff complain about the mildew smell in this building, and there's a hole in the roof, so there's a big leak. So I'm trying to see if we can get like foam insulation, like get it filled in.
And it's been pushed under the rug.
Yeah. So by who? Okay. Yeah.
What have the college said about that, if you don't mind me asking?
So right now, all attempts to kind of like reach out to the college about it, they are not, as far as I've heard, they're not interested in kind of
wasting money.
Yeah, using the resources on that currently. So we're kind of still pushing it, right? Because that's like the health and safety of everyone that works in this building. Right. Not to take from his time, but yeah, that's a pretty important. Yeah.
Now I want to ask you some questions regarding some announcements in this meeting.
Sure.
So the operating agreement, so you said there's a draft and the Parliament members will each get a copy. Yeah. You talk.
President-elect Torres has left the shop temporarily.
No worries, we're just trying to reduce some background noise.
Yeah,
sorry for the technical difficulties. No worries, you're good, I appreciate that. So President Thureson, back to what I was saying. So with the operating agreement, can you just summarize for those watching, what are the main points, if you're able to, of this operating agreement,
Sure.
at least so far in the draft?
Yeah, sure. So right now the stipulations have mainly been around the staffing issue, and it's really whether the college or whether the employees of SCG, which are currently independent employees of the college, right? They don't fall under the college's HR department. They're, you know, completely separate. It's a matter of whether those are going to be replaced, and we're going to do it the same way as we've always done, or if they're going to now become college employees. That seems to be kind of a stipulation for the college. Another thing is around kind of this whole like idea of whether SCG is actually interdependent. So like independent from the college. They view it as more of an interdependent relationship. There's a lot of parts throughout the bylaw, or throughout the operating agreement, where they seem to suggest that we should go through the college, or at least get advice from the college to make certain changes. And SCG is weary of kind of giving up that kind of control right now, because we are supposed to be kind of our own separate 501c3 independent corporation. So yeah, right now it's kind of a back and forth between us, of course, and then the lawyers, and making sure that all of the verbiage in this agreement is something that we can actually agree to and isn't something that's going to be held against us a year later.
Part of when you talk about the staffing part of the operating agreement,
Yeah.
So oversight, would they have hire and firepower if they got their way on that?
So that's what's being discussed. Currently, SCG is not for that. SCG wants to retain control of the staff in at least that fashion, right? The ability to choose who we work with, and then if there's a problem, we don't want to work with this person anymore. The college, is somewhere in between there. We're not quite sure. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go back on that. Yeah.
And just to clarify the process for those watching, once the terms are set between the college lawyer and your lawyer,
right,
and you sign it, what's next? Does it go to a public vote? Is there input? What's next?
That's a great question. So it doesn't go to a vote. It would simply, what?
I think it should maybe, give that to students.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea. I think.
But would it go to a parliament vote?
So as of how it's written right now, no, it's not included in there, but again, that can be changed, that can be worked in. We want parliament members to look at it, so we want all of them to give us our input, right? So that can be changed later.
Would that be something you want personally?
I would be for that, yeah. I think student representation is very important. So I mean, if the students, especially I don't think 6 people out of the executive council should have complete control over what we agree to with the college. So yeah, I would absolutely be for that. And forgot I was gonna say something in addition to that, but, oh yeah, as it stands right now, it would, as it is currently stood, once that's signed, the funds would be, the remaining funds that are frozen would be released.
Would you be allowed to, before you sign it, tell the students what's in it?
Yeah, there's nothing that says we couldn't.
So you could say, hey, before the pen's to the paper, you can tell every single student at Rhode Island College, here's exactly what Dr. Warner wants in its entirety.
As far as my understanding is,
as far as
yes,
your understanding.
Yes.
Okay, and President-elect Torres, what would your plan be moving forward with that? Or if it's not signed by then, what would your...
I mean, I'm hoping we get it signed, and we want to reach an agreement with the college. It's not like we want to be at odds with them, we don't.
We want a good relationship.
Yeah, we really do. That's why I apologize to Ms. Darcy over there, because that was me being hot-headed, and I got to work on that, and I understand that. And yeah, we want to work with the college. We're not here to we just want to serve the students, and that's what the college should be doing as well.
And what we're working on separating is there's been, he's going to jump in as well.
If you want. This is Deputy Speaker Thomas Fura.
Yeah, I'm Deputy Speaker. But when it comes to the college, we feel like they're kind of getting in the way of us actually helping the students by having us change all this stuff, by having cutting our funding, doing all these things. So just having a good relationship in the college makes everything 10 times easier, helps things improve faster, rather than doing all this nitty gritty stuff. And it's
and part of the problem, if I could add, is that we've had a lot of messengers from the college, so it hasn't been consistently one person. It's been one person here, then a different person, then a different. So the messaging has been different, and the form in which the messaging is delivered has been different, and some of that messaging has not rubbed off well on some of the students, unfortunately.
Whether the message was the delivery.
Can you expand on that? What that means?
In the previous meeting, it was taped. There was some people, parliament members that felt uncomfortable with the way that messaging from a college representative was being delivered, and whether that was the college's intent or not, we're working to rectify that situation by working with hopefully people in the college that are going to help us kind of grow and curate that good relationship.
One other point you brought up was a 30-member figure to meet quorum. Can you just expand on what that means?
Yes. So the 30-member, that is currently in our bylaws, it states that we need 56 people in order to, our membership is 56 people. As a quorum, it defines that as half plus one. So the half would be 29, and then plus one would be, I'm sorry, 28, and then half plus one would be 29. But there is a little stipulation there about like a fraction, so we're rounding it up to 30. So we're trying to get that 30 members so that we're absolutely in compliance by the 30th, so that way we'll be able to propose these revised bylaws revisions to Parliament, and then Parliament can pass them, and it can actually be a legal vote, right? Like, we'll be able to make those changes into effect, and then we can, you know, actually have a working quorum.
And just to clarify, is that separate from the stuff going on with the operating agreement? Or is it?
That's a great, it depends on who you
I know
ask.
you talked about it in the meeting, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask. I think the college would say that it's involved. I think SCG currently would argue that it's a separate, because we're our own corporation, so we have our own bylaws. So that would be my comment on that.
Deputy Speaker, I want to get you in on this, because since President-elect is now going to be starting his term on December 12th, there will be an opening for Speaker, part of the rules. You're Deputy Speaker, so one would think you may be the next one to jump in. Any announcements you want to make? Or
Yeah, I
anything?
mean, at first I was gonna be like, oh, I'll just stay at Deputy Speaker, because, you know, I'm pretty comfortable, but I heard like a lot of people want to become Deputy Speaker, and like, I feel like Deputy Speaker is the easiest like job to kind of get into the executive board. So just me moving up just helps another person.
President's not? I'm just kidding. Keep going.
But yeah, I'm gonna run for speaker. You know, I got help me work on my speaking skills. Speaking skills, as you can see, they're not the best, but yeah, I'm gonna run.
And just a quick icebreaker, is there any announcements you want to make, whether events going on? I know James, you're doing stuff with the chess club. Is there any final announcements you want to make that I didn't talk about, or anything I didn't ask?
Join Rick Finance Club.
One more time?
Join Rick Finance Club.
One, we have an event tomorrow that's probably won't be, you know, they won't see it soon enough, but we are hosting an event to get people, we're purchasing people's Thanksgiving dinners essentially at Don's event. And then also the college is pushing us to host one big blast, or big end of semester like bash, and it's gonna have a little surprise in there. We're not gonna say what yet, but it's gonna be very popular for all the students, so stay tuned for that.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention, I remember you was at president at the last Budget Finance Commission when I used to be on the Budget Finance Commission, so next semester I'm hoping to help you guys out as well, because I know you guys are working with a lot of outdated equipment. So we're gonna try to see if we can reach out to like Fox News and stuff like that, different radio stations, to get you guys the equipment and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm not promising, but I'm gonna try my best. You know, so.
That's quite the thing to promise.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, I know you guys are.
Oh, I understand.
Your equipment's from what, 2008?
Yeah, it's a little bit outdated. Just
yeah.
to clarify for those watching, he's referring to, last year was talked about equipment relating to the Anchor TV. There was stuff going on with the budget vote, and this was during the time when the funding situation had just first dawned upon, so every club had got cuts. Well, President-elect Torres, Deputy Speaker Fura, and outgoing President Matthew Thureson, thank you all three for your time.
Thank you, sir. Have a great night. God bless you and your family.
You as well.